Welcome to Bestseller TV. I'm Taryn Winterbrill. We're here with Sreedhar Bevara. He is the author of Moment of Signal, How Being Alert to Signals Can Change Your Life and Make You a Better Leader. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you, Taryn. Thank you for having me.
Moment of Signal, I like to say MOS. What does it refer to? What's it about?
It is about how being alert to the signal can change your life and make you a better leader. Normally, signals, when you say, many people would say, you have to follow the good signal, you have to follow the right signal. But I would start a step before that. You should be able to find the right signal. And that is when your ability to follow the signal becomes much clearer, much better.
Okay, so let's dive into these signals, so to speak. How do you figure out what the signals are, and how do you monitor them, and I guess interact with the signals in the outcome is to become a better leader?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so tell us about the signals.
Well, signals, the good thing about signals, it's available everywhere around you. It's free for everyone.
They're free, right?
Free is the key word.
Right.
The more you're connected to the part that you're doing, the place that you belong to. If you're a businessman, that is market. If you're a politician, that is politics. If you're an individual, your family, your friends, your relatives. So whatever that you are wishing to do, aspiring to achieve a good result, you should be deeply connected to that part. And that's when you're able to see the signals that other people are not able to see. It is free, it's around you, you don't need to crib about someone or something hasn't been fair to you.
So is this for someone who is trying to become a leader? Is this for existing leaders? I guess who is the core audience for you? Who did you write it for?
Well, my central objective of this book is everyone has a leader within. And this is what has been said by many greats. But what the people normally do in a pyramid of the things. For example, if you are asking who is your favorite leader, who is the greatest leader that you like, we immediately jump to the pinnacle of the pyramid. We say Steve Jobs, we say Bill Gates, we say Abraham Lincoln. But what about the entire pyramid?
Right.
There are many layers into this pyramid, and people do not respect themselves that they are also leaders. They must have done some great things. They don't appreciate themselves. They don't appreciate the people around. They recognize only the topmost of the pyramid.
So that's a mistake we're all making, in that all parts of the pyramid
Correct.
contain leaders. We're all leaders in our own ways.
Because without these leaders doing a great job in whichever place that they belong to, the pyramid is not made, and the central figure at the pinnacle is not actually performing well.
This is targeting people who maybe don't consider themselves leaders at the moment. And you're saying we all have our own leadership roles. You don't have to be Steve Jobs to be a leader.
Exactly. I mean, you don't need to don such a name.
Right.
You can be one in whichever foray that you are venturing into. And this, while we are preparing these non-leaders, the so-called they think they are non-leaders, we have to venture them into this leadership pool.
How do you do that?
We'll make them believe that there is a leadership streak in every person. First of all, people must understand that they are already leaders. They're doing something. And if you see, everyone want to excel in whichever things that they want to do in a day. The nature of the act that they are doing on that particular day may not be very, very relevant to other people. But for a person who wants to do something in a given day, that is the achievement that that person wants to go back to the bed with. So we are trying to bring these people into believing that they're already leaders. And that's when we can talk about bigger leadership. So that when we align between these non-leader thinking people with already leader thinking people, then the world is excelling much better. We progress a lot.
Is this book, Sri, based on personal experience? Is this about your journey as a leader?
Well, to an extent, yes. I cannot deny that. Especially when I look back 25 years ago, I used to sell milk packets on the streets.
Milk packets?
Yes.
Ah,
It's a kind of a street vending.
okay.
I'm from a small town with some humble background. And then I started thinking, how do I make a little more money to survive? When you are with the conditions of not having adequate facilities, the basic amenities, then you start thinking, how do you put yourself into a better situation?
Right.
The aspiration, the ambition is good, but in a given day you have to lead the day to begin with, and you have to do things that can give you hope for the next day. So when I started doing these random things, and then I went on to become a waiter in a restaurant, I waited tables for almost 4 years. I suddenly realized, is this what I want to become? And yes, I want to excel here. I'm able to now see little money. My days are better now. But then I realized I have better than this. Then I went back to school. I did my master's, and I started my second innings with the professional career.
You started your second inning?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And when I started doing that, I found always people are strongly connected to you no matter whether they're related to you or not. They only see what is your objective and are you sincere about the objective or not. And I've seen in my last 25 years, there have been always someone who is coming in, who is coming forward and helping me get into the next level. I don't belong to them, they don't belong to me. All I kept this as very simple, that I want to grow.
Right. You know, the book has some interesting theories. One of them I particularly enjoyed, Sri, is called the TAPE theory, which is an acronym, which stands for talent, approach, potential, environment. And the example you give I thought was very interesting, because you're talking about talent, how there's lots of people that have equal levels of talent, but they don't all have the same level of success. And you said you attribute that to the seamless environment. I believe you mentioned some famous soccer players. I think
Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo,
Ronaldo.
Mario Balotelli.
Right. So most people are familiar with Ronaldo, but that second name, not so much. But
Mario Balotelli.
right.
Yes.
But, or at least I think for the general population, maybe if you're a soccer connoisseur, you might know him. But you were saying how the differences are, they have the same amount of talent, but one has skyrocketed, so to speak, and the other not so much. What's the difference?
I think one, we cannot get away from the environment that we are in. So that's why I connected talent, approach, and potential to the central element of environment. Now, talent, people have certain talent, and we see that. But also people say talent is also a manifestation of hard work. Your talent cannot be without the hard work. Now, having potential is different. Now, you have potential. Now, potential means that has to be shined with consistent hard work every single day. If you are feeding that potential with this sincere hard work consistently, then your talent is now more visible. And your approach, see, these two, whatever you're doing is now connected to the approach. What your approach is, that you're trying to shine your potential. And that's how you are able to perform every single day.
But in terms of the difference of skyrocketing to success, I think you also mentioned Einstein and somebody else who, yes, who actually may even have a higher IQ. But everybody knows Einstein. Everybody doesn't know that other person you just mentioned. So they both have equal intelligence levels.
Probably Sidis was higher.
Higher, Sidis, right. So why didn't he become Einstein, in your opinion, based on the moment of signal and the message in your book? What do you attribute the difference to?
Well, Sidis actually, he has graduated from Harvard, and his IQ level was far higher than Albert Einstein's.
Right.
But he disappeared into shadows even before he was in 20s. He could not handle the pressure of being the child prodigy, of being someone who is extraordinary. He's from America. But not many people know about this guy. The only reason is you are able to handle the pressure of being popular, pressure of being genius, pressure of being excellent.
The expectation.
The expectations. But that expectations are coming from the environment. People are looking at you. Are you able to manage this?
Right.
Many people, for example, I take another example for the Indian audience, the cricket.
Yes.
Sachin Tendulkar, he's the greatest batsman, one of the greatest batsmen in the world of cricket.
Right.
And he had a companion called Vinod Kambli. Actually, he is far more talented than Sachin Tendulkar. But he disappeared within 10 years of his career. Sachin had excelled into his career for next almost 27 years. And people knew that this guy would every single day practice for more than 4 hours, no matter what. Your hard work and your consistency. Your talent, your potential are very good, very important. But are you really working on them through the approach of continuously? Because you have to stay relevant.
Right.
This is the key word.
The book focuses a lot on relevancy, and it's really comprehensive. As I mentioned the tape theory, but there are things called the passion theory and components of progress and development, which are really unique. This is your first book, so we would like to say congratulations. And thank you for coming from Dubai to be here. How exciting.
Yes, it is.
It's been great to have you with us, and there's 2 more books on the way.
Yes, 2 more books. The
Terrific.
next book is Roaring Lambs, wherein which I've been traveling into Africa for the last 15 years extensively. And I'm now fascinated with the African jungles.
Ah.
And this story, Roaring Lambs, is again
Roaring Lambs.
Roaring Lambs. It is meek, the group of meek ministered by the strong versus group of strong ministered by the meek. Why the setup? We will come to know when you read this book, but this book tells how to sustain or how to prevent the destruction to keep the equilibrium.
To keep it equilibrium.
You have to have this ecological system,
Right.
wherein which everybody has to coexist.
Okay.
But when you destruct this coexistence for the immediate benefits, it looks good. In the long term, it is going to be having a devastating impact that you cannot correct it back. So in this, we are also talking about meek. Can he be led into doing greater things?
And I'd imagine that some of the signal work here is involved. Well, we want to thank you for being here. The book is terrific, and we look forward to the next one.
Thank you.
If you'd like more information on the book, just head to our website, c-suitebookclub.com, c-suitebookclub.com. I'm Taryn Winterbrill. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Bestseller TV.